Sorry, I really just do not have that much to say about it, folks. But yeah, listen, okay? The Republican base can survive accusations of pedophilia because they're fine with it, you know? They're politically, they're ideologically in favor of pedophilia. But if there's one thing they cannot abide because they're deeply misandrous, it's two dudes rocking out. Can't survive being called gay. Of course Trump is bi. All of these degenerate coastal Epstein billionaire fucks are bi. They're like vampires. They've done everything, you know? Like obviously. Yeah, they've all had bisexual orgies, you know? It's there's absolutely no fucking way they haven't. Yeah, anyway, one of Epstein's emails seems to strongly indicate that Donald Trump off Bill Clinton. He said, I think the email was between Epstein and Epstein's brother, and they were talking about incriminating information that the Russians might have on Trump when he was running for president. And Bill Clinton's brother, or no, it was either Epstein or Epstein's brother. One of them asked the other. I don't remember which one asked which, but it doesn't really matter. Does Putin have those photos of Donald Trump sucking off Bubba? Bubba, of course, being a very, very common nickname for Bill Clinton. There's a Rule 34 nobody asked for. Listen, okay? It's very funny. It's very, very, very funny. Ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. Okay, that's from Mark L. Epstein. Gotcha. And he's confirmed the validity of the emails. Funny, but we can live without seeing that. It's probably a bit, you know, it's probably fake or a reference to something or whatever. It doesn't really matter, obviously. It's just incredibly funny. I don't have anything interesting to say about it. For the most part, people on Twitter are just memeing about it, you know? It's getting added into the lexicon, right? It's the it's lore that's getting poured into the you know, the bucket. Don't forget that Epstein had this hanging on his wall. Is this the Bill Clinton? Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, obviously. Rich people are so fucking weird. Why aren't any of the major media companies reporting on this? They would just ruin the meme, you know. I wouldn't expect them to do it justice. It doesn't really matter, obviously. Though I do think it's funny, at least in the sense that it kind of adds to the mimetic momentum against Trump, you know? Like the big thing that would collapse the MAGA movement would be that Trump becomes so unserious that it's impossible for his supporters to aura farm. Like they've really had trouble with the Epstein thing, right? It's really, really, really difficult for a Trump supporter to deflect from any accusation against him and say, well, Trump's fixing, you know, America, Trump ended 17 wars, whatever, when the accusation in question is the Epstein files that he refuses to see released, right? Ironically, this is like the only mention of Bill Clinton doing anything sexual in the emails, which is insane. That is pretty funny. Isn't it true that Bill Clinton never went to the island? Or it was acknowledged at some point that he never went to the island? Yeah, Bill Clinton went on the Lolita Express a million times, but didn't actually go to the island. Pretty fucking funny. Bro just can't get enough top. Yeah, no kidding. I bet he did, though. I don't really fucking care, to be honest. I don't give a shit, you know? Go after him, too. Who gives a fuck, man? At the end of the day, Trump's the main character here, you know, by his own design. It's what he's fought for. Would be hilarious if Chomsky and Trump are implicated as pedos, but Clinton's just a regular sex pest. Yeah, wasn't one of the emails that came out, one of the emails that came out indicated that what's his face? Why am I blanking? Chomsky emailed Epstein back in 2018 about Lula? Do I have that right? What are the deets on that? Give me info. Chomsky had way closer ties to Epstein than what he claimed. That's fucking funny. Chomsky visited Lula da Silva in prison. He called Jeffrey Epstein from that prison. He called Epstein from a prison. Incredible. What the fuck? Why? I don't fucking know, man. But Lula did not know Epstein, I assume. There's no evidence there. He just called him from prison. Who's not connected to that man? Well, that's the whole point, right? That's the whole point of being Epstein. It doesn't work unless you're connected to everyone. Bunch of people from fucking academia. It also got exposed he was using Epstein's help to blacklist other academic linguistics because they didn't support his theories. Really? Damn, is that true? I would need to read up more on that. That's pretty bad. Got to be cutthroat to get ahead in the, in the fucking dog's world of academic linguistics, I suppose. Look at our leftist thought leader, bro. Okay, hold on. Listen. Chomsky is widely respected, but he hasn't been a thought leader for the left in a long time, you know? I'm surprised he's still alive, to be honest with you. His Russia takes make all of his work worthless. It definitely cuts into their legitimacy a little bit, you know? Did you touch on the reveal that RBG was secretly gay all along from the emails? I already knew that RBG was gay from her refusing to resign back when Obama could have appointed a replacement, you know? I knew that. Not news to me. That was gay as hell. Gay for power. I do hate these people. I really do. He did tanky posted Epstein in an email complaining about Ukraine. Man, really? What was the highlight? Caribbean's close to Brazil, but if you wanted, you were always welcome, and Valeria can meet you there. Still, you're gonna make the Caribbean. Looks like we'll have to wait. Highlight, chance to spend some free time together, some good concert evening, small cafe with jazz. Brexit, Trump, Syria, Ukraine, all tribal. Huh? Wasn't that from Jeffrey Epstein, not to Jeffrey Epstein? Am I misreading the syntax here? I feel like this was said by Epstein, not by Chomsky. Read from the bottom up. I did. Also, it's kind of ambiguous. Either way, we know what he believes. I wonder if they try to demonize gays if it's found out Trump was doing homosexual stuff. I don't really think the MAGA movement is that anti-gay, to be honest. They just have they're like ambivalent on it, right? There are some MAGA people that are extremely homophobic and try to make a career off of that, like extremely homophobic. But there's not really much like national attention being directed towards that. And for the most part, it looks like those grifters just get, they get their leeway to say what they want. It's not something they're willing to dedicate much political energy to, which to my mind, overwhelming cultural victory by homosexuals, About time we win something. Yeah, yeah, yeah.